Hello, everybody. Spirit of 420 here because everything I do is so damn 420. That was a nice big hit, too, to start it off. So, oops, my goodness, it just won't stop. There we go. The stories that I share are 100% factual, and I can prove it. It's all documented. The opinions are mine, and you can't have them, but you are more than welcome to share them. Obviously, I hope and pray that some of you do. I will say that mine generally stink like coffee and weed, as everybody knows. And with that said, I'll take another sip. Hoping that we have some from new folks out. One thing I will tell you is there is a little bit of lag. So once you text it or message it to me, it takes a couple seconds to get to me before I see it. With that, moving on. Let's get right into it. I've had a mixed bag of emotions today. Let's just say that. I believe the first thing that I was going to talk about, well, the story that I'm going to tell later on in the episode is one of the times that I had my ass handed to me. So, you know, if anybody says they haven't had their ass kicked, I think that they're not telling the truth. I think everybody has had their ass handed to them at least once or twice in life. I am no exception. The other thing I'll be talking about is what I went through today, what I continually refer to as karmic justice. It happens. It's part of what, I'm paying my karmic debt, but there is karmic justice that is constantly happening because it's a balance. Yin yang, right? Something that I've continued to talk about. It's what I believe in. It's why I'm doing this. It's what it's all about to me. I continue to flash up those as we see them. So anyway, karmic balance. And then I also wanted to discuss a few of the projects that I'm working on and some of the things that I'm getting involved with. I won't name any names until things are solidified when it comes to certain things, but there's two different podcasts that I've reached out to that were willing to talk about some kind of collaboration. So I'm hoping that either I can get them on here or go on there, or vice versa, maybe both, who knows. Maybe some of them are in the audience tonight. That'll be awesome. Or maybe they'll watch this video. Obviously, I do these live, and I know that I talk to people all around the world. I've actually been kind of impressed because I've been putting this out there. I scrape the audio and I put it out there as a podcast, and I have listeners in Italy, Czechoslovakia, where there was another one too. I can't remember. It was kind of funny. Not to mention that I know I have some folks in Africa as well. I think one of them was Saudi Arabia. So it's just really cool to see this happening and to see where, the reach that you end up getting if you just put yourself out there and continue to do so. And let's talk about that, because what happened to me today, it really did hurt. It actually stopped my day. I talked about the other night when you're on a high, right? You're tripping and you get this high. It's what's called peaking, right? And when you're peaking, it's everything, the whole world is great and everything's wonderful. And then the smallest little thing, can really take that whole trip down. And that happened to me today. Things were moving along. Thank you all to every Twitter follower out there. Peaked over 1,000 this week, and I thought that was incredible. And there was this one in particular person that I had reached out to, and he said he wouldn't do it, which was fine, no big deal. And what I mean by that was be a guest on the show. It was no big deal. But then he went so far as to say, "Hey, send me your link, and I'll take a look and subscribe." I was like, "Okay, cool." And I sent that to him a few days ago. And then today, while I was throughout the day, there's always these giveaways on Twitter. And if you don't know that, then, just get on Twitter. There's always things you can enter. I know mine's personally real. I cannot vouch for every single person out there, but it seems like most of these folks are actually doing their giveaways and staying true to their word that someone wins. Or they have a mark in the audience. If y'all don't know what that means, they have a plant is actually what it's called. in the world. Hey, oh, I know that. I know. Hi, Harley. Nice to see you. I will shout your name out. For those of you who don't know Harley, go and find her. It's literally a heart, stars in the word Harley, Harley, stars, heart. Follow that woman. She's ass with class. I love you, Harley. Thank you for the support. I mean that. Anyway, so, you know, when doing these giveaways, I ended up doing one for the same guy that I talked to a couple of days ago, right? And just to notate real quick, I just want to say this. When I do these, not every single time, because I don't want to bombard the people that I know, but I always try to do over and beyond. And what I mean by that is almost all of them ask you to tag somebody, which means you just, throw their name in the tweet, and then that gives them a notification that they're in a tweet, right? And they look at it, and hopefully the whole idea is that they retweet that tweet and all that kind of good stuff, and they go into the contest. Anyway, I had done his, and I actually went over and beyond. I'm not going to get into the numbers, but it asked for a certain number of tags. I did more than that. And then I sent him a message. Now, yeah, I'm going to read this. And I thought about should I, and I feel like I have to, because I'm curious of everybody else's opinion. But this is what I wrote, and I'll condense some of it. Well, no, I guess I really, to get honest, you have to do. There's no name, so if I'm asking too much, no worries. You just have such a huge following. I was hoping you might quote retweet my giveaway sometime and give your honest opinion of the show. Of course, if you don't like it, there's nothing to discuss. And I put 3 guys, laughing, right? If you are willing, maybe later tonight around the time I'm going live, 7:20 p.m. Mountain. Obviously, it doesn't have to be that exact time. Hell, if you did it now and said there, I would not complain at all. All the support you have given thus far is very much appreciated. And then the next words are all capitalized. Please know that. Green heart, green heart. Thank you, thank you. Peace, thumbs up. Have a lifted day. I went back to check it a little while later, and I was blocked. And I was on a peak. Boom, dude. I mean, it literally just took the wind out of my sails. I will not deny. I've actually had a few conversations with people, and there's a few people out there that have actually had the opportunity to talk to Spirit. Not that I am some great opportunity. It's just not that you don't get to talk to a lot of people that you follow or say things on Twitter. It's not a lot of actual talking unless you're working on maybe a project, and that's how it happens. But the fact is, I was just blown away because, number one, I can say this with all 100% honesty. I have not said one bad thing to anybody. I have not been negative to anybody. I have not. If DMs are some kind of crazy line, I don't get it, because I don't ever get nasty with anybody who DMs me. If I don't want to talk to you, then I'll tell you, please don't DM me. If you still DM me, then I might have to block you, but I've yet to have to even do that. And I'll go so much further to say too, I did that giveaway. Some people would naturally probably go and delete all these, the tweets that I did with the giveaway. No, I didn't do that. That's just not, first of all, it's not me. It's not my karma. And as I wrote it down here because I didn't want to forget it. But, there's going to come a day, because let me just say this: in drug dealing, I was a dealer for 10 years. And a lot of people know that, 10 plus. And a lot of the things that you learn when you're in dealing, quite frankly, is honor and respect, right? There's a real strong code of ethics in the world of actual dealing. And I'm not talking about all these people, and I mean no disrespect to any of the growers of the world today. I am, in that, I'm, falling into that group now, because I'm going to be starting to grow my own. I mean, I have the card to do it. I just always go to the dispensary, right? But my point is, in the underground world, in the illegal drug world, and it still holds true today, people, this hasn't changed for those drugs that are illegal. It's still happening, but there is a very strong code of ethics amongst dealers, and you may not believe it because you always watch these movies about dealers fucking over dealers, but quite frankly, it doesn't happen usually within your inner circle, and not that this guy was in my inner circle, but I will say he was one of my earliest followers, and I had a lot of respect for him. I don't have respect for him, but I will not outlash. And the statement that I'm about to make is the same statement, or is the statement that I'm about to make I absolutely mean. Now, it's not something I would have said 25 years ago because I was not one to live the life that I'm living, but nonetheless, there'll come a day when you want something from me and you'll ask a favor, and I'll still be there. I'll have an open hand and I'll be ready to help, because that's what this life is actually about. One of the things that made me feel a lot better, quite frankly, and I'm going to read it here in a minute, and I know he'll probably text me later and be like, "Oh my God, dude, thanks so much." And I'm not downing it, but he always loves it when I'm mentioning. But one of my best friends, I only have like 2 or 3 really best buds, right? Best buds. Wrote this to me because he knew I was going through some stuff. He wanted to come by and give me a hug before the show. That's when I was like, "Oh, she's too busy," and I'm really in a sour mood, right? So he goes, this is what he says. I'm gonna have to please forgive the old man glasses. "Bro, your intentions and what you are doing is so pure, and you are always and willing and will continue to be the better person or the bigger person in every type of situation, because that's who you are. Who and what you are is what you will have attracted. Keep your focus, brother. I know it's feeling, I know it's a feeling, but of all people, you will and already have overcome it." So, I mean, that there's more. I won't sit here and bore you unless you tell me to. Hey, thanks, bro. I appreciate that. My nose is running. I'm sorry. It's the coughing from the marijuana. Probably time to take another hit. Oh, it is lovely. I mean, I will do this till the day I die. I will continue to be the opposite person of who I was until the day I die, because here's the funny thing, right? This is what I was talking about, karmic. It's karmic debt and it's karmic justice. Number one, I was a dickhead, right? And I can't ever forget that. And what I mean by that is I can't like act like I didn't do all these nasty, horrible things that I did, that eventually you will learn every single one of them, and some of them are worse than others, obviously. But you can't do that and expect to not have your own karmic. What goes around comes around, right? So part of me being nice and someone, somehow taking that the wrong way and blocking me, and it went worse because obviously there's either other tags that he has or other friends that he has, because I've seen a couple other blocks now, which I had, it was kind of funny. But I mean, if you want to ostracize me from your negative Nelly group, that's fine, because here's what's funny, right? Although that happened, on the same token, I got in a matter of like, and it was once I kind of made up my mind how I was going to do tonight's show and what I was going to say, but I decided to look at it differently. And I went and looked, because I'm always constantly checking Twitter, but it's like easy come, easy go. And what I mean by that is I lost 1, but I ended up gaining, like, I kid you not, like some really nice, cool followers, and when I say cool followers, they have big numbers. Now, I want to take this minute to say this, the difference between me and I think a lot of other people, and I mean no harm, if they're making their living at it, man, that's kudos. Everybody's got to do what they got to do. So I'm not downing anybody, and I don't judge anybody. Only God can judge me, and only God can judge you. Okay. But for me, I need everybody to know I'm not doing this to become financially huge or famous so that I'm famous. I've already have more money than a lot of you will ever understand or even get yourselves. And I mean that by no disrespect, right? But I literally was what I was, right? On top of that, I had infamy. I mean, when you're wanted by the DEA, the FBI, or excuse me, the DEA, the GBI, and there was another one I can never remember. It's not an acronym, but the narcotics division. you have infamy, and that's a form of fame. So I'm not after that shit. I'm really not. Now, if I make enough money to do this all the time, then I get to spread the message even more. And the people that know me know that as I make more money doing this, that means more live broadcasts, more positivity, more engagement, more support. And that means I'm always supporting the cannabis community, you know. And something on that, by the way, I have this little thing in me. And if I sound like I'm angry, I'm not. Well, maybe passionate. But if you're going to carry a tag like One Love or hashtag in Memberville, for instance, right? Or hashtag Stoner Fam and call someone fam, fucking mean it. You know, don't have fucking these hollow words that you just say it so that people follow you. That either mean what you're going to say. You know, my father always said actions speak louder than words. I feel like my actions are continuing to show that my words are what they are. And what I mean by that is I had a guy, I'll even shout out his name. You guys, it's ERR Day, Monday, Munday, all one word. You should go follow him and check him out. He's a grower. I can tell that's what he's doing. And he DM'd me and he's like, hey man, would you mind retweeting this tweet? Fuck, it wasn't even easy because he didn't actually, he's probably new to Twitter and he didn't know how to copy a tweet, right? And just pop it in there and say, hey, can you retweet this? He just showed me the picture that he used. So I had to go through his feed, which was fine. I did it. It took me 2 seconds, you know. What's the big deal? It's a couple of button pushes to help out a fellow fucking stoner. Isn't that what the fucking hashtags mean? Or did I somehow get it wrong when I read the history? Am I the only one that read the history? You know, I can't say that because that'll give a disclosure as to who it is, but I'll just tell you, you should fucking read the history. You should read what's behind that hashtag if you carry it, because to me, it's no different than colors on the street. You wear colors, you need to know what those colors are about. You need to know what the fuck you're representing, you know, and you either abide by that or you don't. So there's my bitch session for the day. I will try to move on. The positive, if you didn't get it, this only makes me, I'm sorry, I probably never said it, but this only makes me want to do it more. It only makes me know that I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do. I'm where I'm supposed to be. I sent out a text and said, thank you, Lord. Thank you, God. I'm seeing the signs everywhere, every day, every way. I'm seeing them. They're clear to me. I am on the right path. You can either join me in this journey of positivity, weed, coffee, and yes, God, but God can be whatever the fuck you want God to be. You know, I went through AA. So one of the things they said, it's a power greater than you. Whatever's greater than you. What, you can't see something around you that's greater than you? You're not the greatest thing on the earth, right? So there you go. Just pray to the trees. The trees are greater than me. That's what I used to pray to. And you don't have to pray if you want to be spiritual, whatever it is, whatever, you know, just know that you got to have something. That's actually something that's taught. You know, if man didn't have some kind of a spiritual belief, we would have ceased to exist a long time ago. The evolutionists can believe it or not if they want. And the one thing I always say to either side, right? God, if you're God or you're evolution, here's the one thing I'll say to both. If you believe in God, but you don't believe in evolution, or if you believe in evolution and you don't believe in God, right? And that's Big Bang against God. Someone had to make the Big Bang. Is it that hard? Is it that hard? If it was a Big Bang, it didn't. I've never seen anything in this world happen without a cause. It's what our world's based on, cause and effect. So, moving on. I am going to be working, hopefully Dirty Medic will end up seeing this, and Duck and Jim, the crypto vet, all these guys, I'm going to be working with them on a couple different projects. The one for sure that's coming up is going to be with Duck, and I'm not going to announce anything about it. He will do all the announcements. I'll just be telling you they will start to have a spot on the Spirit 420 show. It'll be separate from what I do, and what I mean by that is I'll still stream 3 times a week doing my thing, and then I'll give them an extra day. That way I'm not, taking away from me. I'm only adding to the experience, right? As I said, too, a couple of podcasts, I'm hoping that there'll be some collaboration there. That would be quite awesome if it happens. And as those things come about, obviously, I will tune you into them. But on to the story. So today's story, I was already hustling. And to give you an idea, this was, I think I told y'all, well, I know I did. I told the story of my first arrest, except that was the one. I think that was the one that ended up getting deleted, wasn't it? Or was it? It doesn't matter. First time I got arrested, I was on LSD, and this all happened up in the same time frame, same general time of my life. I think I was. I'm trying to remember. So I think I should have wrote this down beforehand. I was either 19 or 20. I want to say 19. I may have turned the ripe old age of 20. I was in a small town up in the eastern corner of Tennessee. Let's just put it that way. And I had already started building a little reputation as a pretty decent peddler. And I wasn't trying to be a dealer, but I was, well, I mean, I guess I was. I had, at this point in time, I had quit my job. I was 100% into hanging out at a arcade that had pinball machines and, video games and foosball. And I would just sit there all day and basically move drugs, anything from LSD to marijuana. And that was pretty much all we really got our hands on back then. We didn't even see hash or honey oil or any of that shit. So anyway, this chick, now I'll say her name because it's not her real name, and you're gonna get a kick out. You'll get a kick out of this. But this chick's name, she went by Boots. Boots. That was what she went by. Boots. Boots. Like, a pair of snakeskin boots, if you will. She was very attractive. Funny enough, she lived in a trailer, but so did a lot of people in these small towns. A lot of people don't realize just how many trailers are out there in the Southeast. It's riddled with them. So she asked me to come over to her place, right? I was going to pick her up for a date. We had met because the only thing to do, by the way, just to give you some backstory, the only thing that you did in this day and age, this place, was cruise. I don't know if, raise your hand if you've ever lived in a situation where all you do is cruise. Like almost every night we would cruise, we would find a place to park, we would smoke. Yeah. Well, technically speaking, it was the second time I was arrested. The first time was 12. Just to go back to Harley real quick, she asked if it was the first time. The first time I was arrested was 19 years old, and I was on acid and peaking as I was being transferred from one place to another. But that's one of my old episodes. I promise you can find. And if I'll go make sure it is. If it's not, I'll retell that story because it's absolutely hilarious. But I'm pretty sure, you know what, if y'all don't mind me just looking over here with my bad eyes, why not do Harley a favor? I believe, let's see, is that not it? Yeah, there you go. Okay, so my very first live stream, Harley, if you go back and watch it, is titled 50th V-Day, Run-Ins with the Law, Case 2, because this is the second story I've done on that. First adult arrest. And yes, I was quite high on LSD. It was quite an experience. You'll love that story. So back to this one to set the premise. Cruising. And I'm not talking about the homosexual way, although I ended up doing that later. Because as you well know, I went that way. So I'm pansexual poly, for those who do not know. Cruising, that's what you did. You would ride, you would all pile into you would get 3 or 4 people in a car, and then you would just cruise these parking lots with your music on. Every once in a while you take a break and smoke until the cops ran you off, because we would usually stay out there typically until about, we would, technically speaking, we would try to stay out there all night. We didn't want to go home. None of us wanted to go home. And I remember most of the times when I was going home, it was already daylight. So it was 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I was coming in. But that's the kind of town that it was. It wasn't jack shit to do. So all I was going to do on our date was to pick her up, and we were going to go cruising together, right? Probably get some fucking Perkins, if anybody knows that shit restaurant. They're actually pretty good. Quite frankly, Perkins does blow away both the Awful Waffle, that's what I call Waffle House, and then there's IHOP. Everybody knows IHOP. I do believe Perkins is the best of the 3. So here I am, 19. I'm pretty sure it's 19. And I'm not going to go into the reasons. But it just all clicked what age I was. 19 years old. I go over there to pick her up. Come inside the trailer, and you know, 19. Don't get me wrong. I'd had sex. I wasn't new to it, but I was not always necessarily the fastest on the signs when a woman wanted you, and you're gonna love this, because had I gone back, this really should be a missed opportunities, because it's a missed opportunities. I was fucking blind opportunity, right? Didn't see the signs, and they got my ass kicked for it because I didn't take the opportunity. But essentially, to make it very, very, I love that. Thank you so much. There's one of my newest followers. I'll just, Americana Blunt. You're awesome. I'm a very transparent person. And the funny thing is, I've been having to unfollow people just because you can only follow so many. And I came to you and I was like, I almost unfollowed you because you still hadn't followed me. And I didn't think if you were even taking notice. And then today you were one of the ones, that followed after I lost that. Bless America. You were one of the ones. Made me feel great. Thank you. But back to the story. And absolutely, I would love to do anything. One door closes and three door opens. That's all I have to say, folks. So back to the story. I was inside and she had kids. So God, isn't that a clue? This chick's 21 years old and she has 2 kids, right? And she's living with her mom, but again, she has 2 kids. I mean, that means that she's fucked, right? 19, wasn't thinking. So I'm hanging out there for a minute. I go outside and have a cigarette. I come back in and the mom's left the room and she changes in front of me with no bra on. And what did I do? Not only did I quickly divert my eye, I mean, this woman was basically throwing herself at me and I just wasn't getting it. I was too young and too dumb and too full of cum, right? Sometimes you're so wound up, you don't even see the forest for the trees, as I love to say. And it's just the simple truth. I mean, here's this woman, she takes her shirt off and I'm not even going to begin to tell you. I mean, throughout the night, there was continued signs, grabbing of the leg, I didn't even try. It's my fault that this happened. I mean, it really is. I get that now. I didn't try. And I do believe everything happens for a reason. So don't get me wrong. There was probably, who knows, maybe she had some venereal disease, for God's sakes. I don't know. Maybe she was a Klingon and maybe it would have been a horrible relationship. I don't know. I believe everything happens the way it's supposed to, but the bottom line is what the cause and effect of this is that I did not sleep with her. Literally 2 days later, I start to hear it. I'm a narc. Nobody's touching me. Nobody's coming near me. The phone's not ringing. People are and I realized it because people started looking at me funny. And I told you I hung out at this arcade, right? Which, by the way, I always thought this was funny. The arcade was an old bookstore and they didn't change the name. So it still had the name of the bookstore up there, but you just walk in and it was all fucking video games because books had gone, man. Nobody was reading fucking books this was 1991, by the way. If I didn't set the premise, I'm 50, so you can do the math, but there you go, 91. Also, just a quick side note before I talk about the ass whipping itself. There was a time in my life during 19, because it was 91 that Terminator 2. I'll give you an idea. Anybody that faces suicide, I think everybody deals with it. Everybody deals with a thought, but I kid you not, that movie was one of the dumb reasons that I did not kill myself waiting for that fucking film to come out. I was like, I remember one night I was ready to do it. I was like, you know what, though? I really want to fucking see that movie. It just looks fucking incredible. So I'm like, just don't do it until you see Terminator 2. Honest to God. Anyway, obviously Terminator 2 came about and I was feeling much better, as most of the time that happens. Those are just fleeting moments, but my only point there is that whenever you're feeling that way, hold on to fucking anything. If there's the tiniest little thing that you can accomplish in the near future, then say it, I'm not going to kill myself until that. It's really the same concept that alcoholics and all those people that deal with the hardcore drugs, which, by the way, most people I know that are alcoholics still smoke weed today, because weed is not the same, period. It's a whole different thing. But the drugs that cause you much pain and cause you much anguish, that is, if you, again, it's the same thing that they say, you know what I mean? Oh, there it goes. It always happens almost every episode. Lost my train of thought of what I was trying to say. It's okay. Let me come back over to here, by the way, because I went over there to find the episode. I hope I didn't miss anybody's text. Doesn't matter. It's the whole point is, it was my fault. I ended up not doing anything, became a narc. Nobody was talking to me. All of a sudden, oh, that's what, remember it was the, if I just don't drink today, sorry, the thought just hit me. If I just don't drink today. So like, it's the same thing with suicide, quite frankly, because you get, and that if you just don't do it for that day, for that one reason, you know what I mean? It was the best by Harley shouting out best one. Absolutely the best, without a doubt, hands down. It was also the first time a sequel didn't suck. Fuck. I grew up in a day and age where just sequels, with the exception of Star Wars, which we always considered to be an exception because it wasn't a sequel like other sequels. And what I mean by that, it was always written. Up until that time, and Terminator 2 was one of them. I know it's a tangent, but Terminator 2 was one of the first sequels to be written after the original, not part of the original and not even planned. And he fucking nailed it. So he nailed it again too with Aliens, which he didn't direct the first, but Aliens was, if not the best, I think it probably is the best Alien movie in my opinion still too. Those two movies are right there. And by the way, it's not a sequel, but Abyss. They're all three great. I'm not a James Cameron nut anymore. He's kind of weird, but I am looking forward to Avatar. On to the next subject. So I started becoming narc, and then one day, these guys, they ended up giving me, funny enough, I got my ass handed to me twice at that bookstore video game place. And this was the first time it happened behind it where nobody, like back in the dump, behind the dumpsters, and these two guys just whipped the shit out of me. Funny thing, I just talked about it a minute ago. Guess who ended up buying drugs from me 3 months later? Guess who it was? Same guys that whipped my ass. Now, granted, back then I was not a dealer, so I was all more than willing to sell the guys that had currently kicked my ass drugs so that I did not get another ass kicking. Let's be very clear. It was not me turning the cheek. It was me preventing another ass whipping. All right. So let's just be very, very clear on what I'm saying there. The whole intention was not, I was not trying to win those guys over or, let shit go. I was preventing future ass kickings. So anyway, I decided, or I chose to ignore 21-year-old breasts. Those are the best too. No offense it's the best time to have sex, right? I mean, look at me. I looked great back then. I was like fucking stud, Didn't realize it, by the way. Didn't believe in it. Didn't believe it until a few years later when I got money and, a lot of money and a lot of power. And then everybody's like, hey, you're really good looking. Of course, they could have been lying to me because I had all the money. So who knows? It doesn't really matter to me. The whole point is, I could have prevented that, but everything does happen for a reason. Who knows where I would have been? And you'll enjoy the other ass kicking story. That'll be a story for another day, obviously. Been going almost about 40 minutes, so I think it's definitely time to do some celebratory dabs, if you will. I've got these other messages here. I missed one. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, yeah, okay. Just a shout out to Hussein. I hope you're watching. He's one of my friends in Africa. I give you an idea, me and this kid, he's my kid's age, man. We talk every day, almost every day, just to throw a message and be like, how you doing? And it's honestly heartbreaking sometimes because, where he is, they don't have any jobs. They have very, very little food, but I can tell you this, and I mean this wholeheartedly, like I told someone else. I don't ever forget. That's the one thing, I don't forget who was there, who's not, who's going to be there, who turns their cheek. I may not always. And what I mean by that is, I'm not going to hold a grudge anymore, but I'm not going to forget. Right. And that also means I'm going to remember the people who have been really, really kind to me and really sweet. And also going to remember that if I have a way, and I told him, I was like, dude, if I ever get so much popularity and so much power that I can help you, I promise you I will. And it's y'all don't know me. That's fine. My friends and my family know me. And some of y'all are starting to get to know me. And I appreciate that. I truly do. But I'm at a point now where everything I say is exactly what I mean. It's just that simple. If you say it, mean it. And that's probably a lot of the military in me. Military background. I think I said that before in my family. And those of you who have talked to me, obviously, I know I've told them I talk to these vets. Part of the reason I do is because I know the sacrifice that is made by these guys. And I don't know if the story was the funniest today. I hope that y'all got at least one or two chuckles from it. Oh, hey, Dirty, I'm sorry, man. I did not see you, brother. Yeah, what's up, baby? What's up? Got it. Yeah, I knew you were. Hell yeah, man. He sent me back that big old hit from his garden, man. Y'all need to go check out Dirty Medic. Check out his garden. He's going to be one of my first guests. If you throw up a message, Medic, I'll pop it back up here again. But he's definitely going to be one of the first guests with Duck. That'll be happening 1 week from today. Same spirit time, same spirit channel. For those of you that aren't getting where that's going to go, obviously, it's easy to where the tagline is going to end up being, right? You're either going to have the spirit or you're not. I got the spirit. I'm hoping y'all can hear that shit if I get the mic close enough. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I can do this because I got this fucking handy dandy desk that just goes up and down. That shit's badass. I love it. I stand all day. I think most of y'all know that I stand all day. So it's kind of funny because I got this spider bite. It's in my feed if y'all got to see it. I apologize. I apologize. Even the tweet that you had to see those ugly feet, but you had to see what I was dealing with. Because I took that picture, like literally, those pictures were taken, I kid you not, like maybe 10 minutes after I did the show the other night. And Mrs. Spirit and Mama Spirit were both like, you gotta get off your feet. You gotta take this. You gotta do this cold compress. I was like, I gotta stand. This has been part of the transformation. And I'm gonna start heating this up and I'll explain. But, after 30, basically, the better part of 30 years of sitting, and I'll say this now, and anybody that worked with me in the sales rooms would know, I always wore a wireless headset and I would walk around. Like I would get on the phone and then I'd start pacing, and I have to. And it's funny, I was talking to Bet the other day and I noticed he did the same thing. I wanted to be like, dude, I pace like that too. It's weird because now I have to sit here and stare at this camera or stare, I don't go anywhere, but I've gotten used to standing and hold on. Oh, that was a big one. I better drink some. Oh, shit. Anyway, part of the change, quite frankly, was the fact that I got this standing desk because it's weird, man. Standing at it all day, I have so much more energy, and you would think it was the other way around, right? But I actually have more energy and I want to keep doing stuff. I can't stand to sit now. I feel it's weird. I cannot become nearly as productive sitting in the chair at my desk. The desk will go all the way down. So, I mean, I can stand or sit at it. But I mean, I think I've had it in the sit position since I got it like 5 times, to the point where the missus and the mama are both like, if they ever see it down, they're like, what the fuck? Because as low as it gets is, you know, still was like 3 feet off the ground. Well, you know, well up here, and I'll just lower it to do dabs. Usually I lower it to do my dab rig. That way it's easier. I'm not up here. I only keep it high like this for you folks. So, how do I sign off today? I think y'all got something from it. Hopefully you did. I'm not going to worry about trying to say something strange about me. I'm already strange enough, and I'll end up sharing the strange things as they come to mind, because I swear I think everything I do is strange when I end up talking to other people, and they don't do that shit. So, you know, a lot of people find it strange that I wear the rings, but that's in a past episode. But there's a reason behind every one. There's a reason why I keep the cuckoo on there, and I'm sure y'all get it. I'm a fucking cuckoo. I'm crazy. It just makes sense that I would have a cuckoo go off all the time. So with that said, most people don't realize just how normal strange actually is. I hope that more people start to get how normal strange actually is and accept your brother, your sister, whoever it is, for their strangeness. But until then, we all know that opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one, and everybody thinks everybody else's stinks. Mine, they smell like coffee. I should say they stink. They stink like coffee and motherfucking weed. I really do appreciate all the love and support from those of you that are showing it. And believe it or not, I even appreciate it from those of you who are not. It's all about it. You gotta thank God for every single thing, or thank him for nothing. There was a tweet that I retweeted today that basically said that in a nutshell, just in different words. You know, I'm sorry, I'll just say this. If you're only thankful for the good things, what the fuck? I know that sounds weird, but if you're only thankful for the good things, that's messed up. You've got to be thankful for all of it, because it's only on a bad fucking day that you're able to have a fucking fantastic day. So be thankful for all of it. That's the beauty of this world, right? And with that said, until next episode, I really do love every one of you, regardless of whether you love me back. Peace out. That's going to take me a minute. Oh, shit. You know what? I forgot to run the banner. Oh, Spirit, it was stone tonight. I didn't run the banner. It doesn't matter. Peace.